you see. Well, at this point, there's a lot to talk about, but we've already talked about a lot. See, we've got the Aries, the organism is waking up, and there's just a rise. Okay, so this means that you, my friend, if you're listening to this, you're part of a collective that is going through a massive change, right? Whether you know it or like it or not. So that's precisely what I wanted to clarify, is that you have to question things. You know, you need to look in and open your own library bank based in your own faculties and start logging in, especially if you have a question, and just don't ever throw out that question if it doesn't seem like a satisfying answer. And it's kind of like going to the doctor. You just always, keep it open for some other opinion. Maybe, I don't know. Don't give up from knowing what could possibly be making you feel any way, shape, or form. Like, say, especially your curiosity, and then be sure it's satisfied. That's what I mean. It's just hold on to the little inkling of the possibility that maybe you don't know, and maybe it's time to know, and then just hold on to your love, I guess. So anyway, God, uh, yeah, because you have to question, because, well, now you see a lot of people, they'll deny this conversation about, oh, God and the devil or something like that, or Satan and God, and I don't like the subject matter either. It's too dual and it's warlike, but no, there is good and bad. See, this is where we're at, kind of like, see what's going to come up with the Libra. Now, see, Libra is gonna trigger off this trine for the next 7 years. The next 7 years that Uranus is in Gemini, which is a huge thing. Now, these outer planets are going to get in this extremely harmonious chime, like on a weekly basis, really. Well, monthly for sure, because the Moon will be trining it, the Sun will do it, and yeah, any planet that goes into Libra is going to trigger off this grand trine, and that's good news, especially for my generation. Hello to the people that were born, well, just around about after 1969, late 1969, I think it was maybe the 70s, that Pluto went into Libra. I think it was the 70s. I can look it up really quick. Sorry about that. Maybe I'll type more and make a message and describe what I'm not describing here. So that generation from there till about, I think, 1976, and also Uranus is in Libra, so there's a conjunction with Uranus and Libra. That was a very intense time, right, to be born. I was born there. I was born with a lot of Libra, including those two planets. So anyway, getting back to the generational thing that's happening, that it's like this. It's the generational. You see, we have a rise of something blooming, right? It's generating what? Well, I say it's perhaps intelligence, or through the evolution of our consciousness. So I hate to sound like this, but I'm real and here I am. Why are we on freaking YouTube? A lot of people do have a lot of stuff to offer, who, if they have like more than 3,000 or 5,000 videos, yeah, if they're on there every day, check it out. I mean, especially the oracles and the people. I trip out on the astrologers and the oracles, channelers. There's channelers. I mean, you see all the weird stuff going on. Really, you have to be a certain type, right? Now, okay, so type right. Let me get back to, now, what am I talking about, you guys? I'm talking about, yeah, what about those types? There's two types, okay? So, but see, people would not even agree with that. See, there's a lot of people that are just, well, first of all, they're political, and it's kind of as good as religious too, because you felt it before, right? It's kind of one-sided. Maybe it's prejudice. It feels like The Wall to me, doesn't it? Okay, gosh. Ooh, sorry. So now we're isolating ourselves, are we, or no? No, there is something going on. See, the good and the bad and the ugly. As though we got the good and the bad. Like, okay, so how about this? Gosh, the inorganic versus the organic, and People don't know what we mean by organic. See, there's a universe here, and we are one with the universe. And you notice it's an O for organic. I hate to mention that. And it's like oxygen, organism, forever life, and or eight. That's the sign that it's safe. That if it continues on and on, that's cool. We want to have a continuum, of something. I mean, aren't we? That's kind of the sign of evolution, maybe, that we can have a full round, because really it's an illusion if you kind of put it on end, but really it's a spiral going up, right? Or down. Perhaps it depends on what you're doing with your truth there. And we have kind of a reverse universe right now when it comes to the truth. And so there's a population out there that is very far behind a lot of people, like especially the kids. Kids are probably going to start sucking up the information that's coming out of the YouTube and the access, like the unorthodox stuff, especially also the healing ages, the different healing, holistic, that is real healing, real medicines, just switch the food or something like that. And it's not new. It's not new stuff. It's old stuff, right? It's just we're coming up with the real science. It's like, oh, come on, this fake science stuff. And okay, wow. Some of us might be a little bit too smart for our own whip and broom, but what are we going to do? We're just going to keep communicating, okay? And we're going to try to have a great time. All right. Thanks for your support. And if you're grooving with it, see, what I wanted to just get into, God, this is a trippy channel right now, is that, because I know what I'm trying to let you know is that, see, there's this massive population that kind of denies it. And they're very much into denying that God exists, right? I mean, well, now there's people that have a God. Oh, they're sure of it. And it's a massive, massive. But no, a lot of them are disenfranchised by the same organization that see, these other people are just hanging on. I don't know. It's a weird mixture of stuff going on. Okay, so this is something that is really hard to talk about right now. Pardon me. But no, it is happening. See, the difference between the safe ones and the unsafe ones is the peoples that can talk about it and recognizes that, yeah, there's this and that variation and hue, like looking into it, because they do have their own faculties and they're feeling it. And really, you want to feel like, well, yeah, this one makes me feel like I want to run away and the hair is standing on the back of my neck. And the other one feels kind of like I am sitting in the presence of John Lennon or somebody, man, you know what I mean? Or whoever, whatever celebrity that you think you want to be next to, especially, it could be anybody really. It could be just somebody who is elevated a little bit, and that's what we need, is to go this way instead of this way, you know what I mean? See, if there's no question at all about the deceiver, then you have definitely been deceived, right? If everybody's just like, nah, and it's like, no, there is you have to be aware. There's awareness. I was almost going to say there is a war. You got to watch out right now. It's not straightened out. What, Shauna? What? Can we get you a glass of water or something? Sure. Can you find a clean glass of water? I mean, even if you had a waterway out here, and sometimes, I mean, not sometimes. Last time I saw clear water in there that was qualifiable to drink, because I know how to see it. I had my iPhone in my hand. I think it was not too long ago. It purifies itself. It could be percolating from underneath. You have no idea how all of these aqueducts around here and anywhere work. How it purifies itself every 30 yards going down the hard granite. And so around here, no, there's springs that we used to drink out of and stuff. And so anyway, oh God, it's such good water. So sweet. We used to come up here and just fill up the water. See, it used to be $9 a month. All you can drink and use, just a standard $9, because it was a private water company. And it was still this way in the early 80s, 1980s. And it was so sweet. We'd come up and get we would bring our jugs up here and fill up out of our faucet up here, because the water was spring water. It was basically the most purest. They didn't mess with it here. There was good people that were running the private water company here. It could be private, see. It darn well can be, see. Or it can be anywhere. See, now when you talk about private, who's private? What is it private from? You know what I mean? I mean, if it's not the same kind of people running it that know how to keep the fucking water clean, what is it? And if you disagree that that's happening or whatever, I don't care. You need to go over there. You belong in a different school somewhere. Maybe see there's a volcano, a live one. Okay. So anyway, back to the people that want to be here sanely. We would have to identify that maybe there are two things going on here. Maybe there's two types. Okay. So with that, because we need proof, right? It seems like we need proof. Well, we can hardly get proof because it's just overran. Nobody can have this conversation like this, not like this. I'm a comedian. I'm from the Pleiades. I love Christ. You know, Christ is human. Human is a good thing to do. I mean, it's interesting. Here it is. It's perfectly 100%. It is the universe. The universe is human. You know, that little saying, I'm one of the kind of the people that say, the universe, it's, it's full of everything. Talk about that gold and stuff. You want gold, huh? It's used for something, by the way. I mean, you don't want to just like, yes, I got gold, and you're dead. What can you do with them? You can't even carry that much. What do you do with it?